Hello, my name is Jonathan Curry, and I will be giving you this instruction on period rapier combat. I began learning in the year 2000, where the man who taught me had already been fighting for over 15 years at that point, and had been Olympically ranked in saber. Now I'll give you a brief instructional video on period rapier combat. Before we get too deep into the mechanics of sword fighting, let's go on a brief mechanics of the sword. First thing I want to go over is the tang, this part of the sword that extends from the blade. This is used for structural integrity so the blade doesn't break when you're fighting with it. Next, we have the pommel. This part I'm screwing on right now. The pommel is predominantly used for balance. It can also be used as a weapon in a pinch. Then you have the grip, where your sword, you actually grip the sword. A precise, if unimaginative thing. Next you have the guard. Hopefully the guard will prevent a grazing shot from blowing into your hand. That was the idea. Next you have the actual blade, starting with the first half, which was referred to as the forte or the strong of the blade. It was normally duller than the rest of the blade, and this is where you want to parry. This is where you can pick them up and actually move them around. The middle of your blade, the mezzo, has good balance for both. You can actually perform an attack fairly well from here as well as parry. And then you have the tip of your sword, about here up, the feeble. The feeble is the weak of your blade, and you really don't want to get a contest of strength up here. You lack all the leverage, but it's also where you're going to start your thrusts. Now when you meet a fighter with any moderate level of skill, you'll find they're actually good in one of three areas. The first one's the one you're all thinking of, sword work. The second one, a commonly forgotten one, is balance. And the last one is footwork, the one people always forget. So let's start there. For the basics of footwork, you want to start with your stance. You want one foot in front of the other, you want your heels to be on a line, and you want you to have your knees comfortably bent. You don't want to get down too low so you put too much strain, but you don't want straight legs either, or you can't move. You need to be at a comfortable bend. From here, you can go through the basics of movement. Advancing, retreating, and crossing forward, and crossing back. Notice on all the movements, the lead leg starts. Advance, the front leg moves. Retreat, the back leg moves. Cross forward breaks the rule with the back leg starting or the front leg starting. Important things to note in the side view. First is that the rear foot stays at either a 90-degree angle or less. You don't want to go more than 90 degrees, that'll put unwanted strain on the knee. Also note how the heels stay on a line, and when you move, either advancing or retreating, you've maintained the same distance, even in a cross forward or a cross back. Distance remains the same. Now as for your basic fighting stance, much like how we were moving, you want your dominant foot in front of the other, feet about shoulder width apart, heels are on a line, back foot 90 degree or less. Now knees gently bent, it's comfortable for movement. Holding the sword, you want to put one or two fingers inside of the guard. You want to rest the pommel right against your wrist, palm up. Now flip, so your palm is down, back your hands to the sky. Tip rests between your opponent's eyes. If you don't have an opponent, imagine you're someone your height, right between your eyes. Offhand stays extended at head level. And a good way to remember this is if this were a full guard, the rest of your arm should be hidden behind it. Not an open guard, but a closed guard. Right there. Important things to note from the side angle. Again, you can see the leg work being shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent, back leg at a slight angle. My arm, you can see, makes a straight line from the sword to my elbow. Offhand extended, head level. The next move incorporates both footwork and sword work, as you'll be learning the basic attack, how to lunge. First off, taking your basic on guard stance, heels on a line, shoulder width apart, slightly bent. Next, sword up, off arm ready. The basic lunge involves first extending your sword at your opponent, followed by lifting your front leg into a lunge. Recover. Extend, lunge, recover. Important elements to note from the side angle are when you lunge, the knee remains over the ankle. You don't want to extend your knee to where you can't see your toes anymore. From here you put strain on your knee, and when you recover you have to straighten your leg. Likewise, the back leg remains completely straight with the foot planted on the ground. It can be either at a 90 or less. So we've gone over how to stand and how to lunge. Next we need to discuss how to guard. Real quick, I'll show you the brief gambit of parries that are available to you. You have parry 1, parry 2, parry 3, parry 4, parry 5, parry 6, parry 7, parry 8, saber 6, parry 9. We are going to be focusing on parry 6, parry 4, parry 5, and parry 7 in order to guard the 4 major angles of your body.
Cut.
The first parry is parry 6. If you're in a good on guard, you should be in a natural parry 6. This is designed to deflect a shot angled at your arm. If someone comes down this way and you're at a good angle, they'll go just outside. Key thing to remember here, wrist is out. Wrist is in, it'll go into your arm. Wrist is out, shoot right out. From your basic on guard stance, or your parry 6, you also need to be able to guard the other side of your body. This will be done with a parry 4. Parry 4 is done by first flipping your grip up, then pushing across your body. Note how the blade does not go all the way out. I don't make a straight arm. It comes just to the outside of my body. Likewise, your offhand needs to cross your body. So you have an extra guard over here, just in case, as well as a double up on your parry, if you succeed. For your basic on guard, you also have to be able to guard your head if someone lunges at your head. This is performed by doing a slight arc with the tip of your sword that will encompass a shoulder-to-shoulder arc, and then guides up just over your head. Notice how my arm remains bent, slight angle in the sword, guiding your opponent's blade into the forte, the strong of your blade. On guard, parry 5. Offhand goes where the sword is not, in order to give you a little extra parry. The final parry we'll be going over today is parry 7. From your on guard, if someone were to lunge at your leg, you make a slight crescent coming in the inside of your body, very slight crescent, stopping at your knee. Parry 7. Last but certainly not least, we want to talk about safety gear. Let's take you from the head down. On the head, you want to make sure you have a mask. Now, there's different kinds of masks you can buy. The one you want to get that'll cover any kind of fencing you get into is a basic 3 weapons mask. The different masks are designed for the 3 different kinds of current Olympic fencing. You want a 3 weapons mask that'll cover you for all of them. You can also see that this one has a koi fawn. This is basic trigger cloth designed to just protect the back of your head, neck area from being exposed. Next, we have a gorget to go around your neck. This one is basic brigadine pattern, though you can get other styles. This one is my preferred. You want to make sure you have something guarding your neck in case you take a throat shot. That's no good. Likewise, when you wear it, you want to make sure that it has a little bit of room. You don't want one that's going to choke you. You want to make sure it's got a little bit of room in here. Next, you have your actual torso armor. I wear 4-ounce leather. You can also wear 3 layers of trigger cloth or 3 layers of denim, anything that will give a substantial barrier that could stop a potentially broken sword. The requirements have to come down half sleeve, so you can wear full sleeve if you like, but the requirement goes to half sleeve. I wear an undershirt that has the trigger cloth guarding my vital arteries and my armpits. You also want to make sure you have all your skin covered. That's why we wear the gloves, the long sleeves, the full boots, pants. You don't want to have holes in your gloves. Also, for the gentlemen out there, I recommend a cup. You don't want to get tagged in the vitals. Thank you for watching this instructional video on period rapier combat. Now, in the upcoming video, we hope to discuss offhand and secondary weapons, including such things as the baton, dagger, cloak, buckler. So, until next time, my friends, play safe, have fun, and remember, the pointy end goes in the other guy.
Soon you'll be a dead man. Ain't it great to be a pirate, laddie, to sail the seas and to end just like your daddy? Draw your cut.